If your Cane's fries go limp before you sit down, this isn't bad luck, it's by design. We're exposing 5 menu traps that drain your wallet, dull your taste buds, and tank your texture in minutes. Let's start with the crinkle-cut, sponge effect, and a slaw that nutritionists call dessert in disguise. Then I'll show you 5 insider swaps, founder-approved orders, extra crispy timing, and a butter-to-the-edges toast tweak that lock in crunch, cut sugar, and save money. You'll know exactly what to skip, what to swap, and why the science proves it works. Your fries are losing their crunch before your receipt cools because crinkle-cut acts like a sponge. The ridges you expect to crisp up fast are the same grooves that trap heat and liquid. That's the leak in the system. Let's start with the claim. Standard fries at peak times are set up to fail on texture within minutes. The cut adds more edges, but the structure holds steam. In a rush, baskets stack, serve windows tighten, and fry time meets wait time. By the time you sit down, the outside has already started to soften. You expect crinkle-cut to mean more crust and more crackle.
To actually own it, you're not gonna be frying chicken just like I'm not gonna be up on stage with you. I'm not either. That's why at Cane's you can trade out your slaw for extra
That is so
fries.
interesting. You put four things on the menu and one of them you don't really care for.
I don't care for.
That's pretty funny.
Coleslaw people, it's top of mind is the key. There's a lot of good places to go eat. You want Cane's to be in their head when they're making a decision. General broad advertising, look, just quick service restaurants.
Yeah, and so how do you find those celebrities that are caniacs?
For me, it's got to be organic. It's got to be people.
But each groove becomes a pocket for wet air and stray oil. The shape increases contact with moisture, not just the fryer. And once that steam sits, it eats the crunch from the inside out. Here's the short timeline. Basket lifts. Steam floods the grooves. Oil clings to the ridges. The carry-out lid traps the cloud. Starch on the outer shell turns from brittle to chewy while you grab napkins. The clock wins. The science is simple. Moisture migration pulls water from the core to the crust. Starch gelation means the crisp shell turns soft as that water rehydrates it. Hot air plus trapped steam turns a crackly net into a damp coat. Heat doesn't save it. It speeds the swap. Think corrugated cardboard dipped in oil. The ridges feel firm for a moment, then sag when heat and humidity pile on. Same story here. Strong at first bite. Slumped by minute 3. Quick serve norms add pressure.
Just about all of our relationships we have with celebrities is coming from, hey, say it's good. I'm like, no slaw is really good to me.
Todd, are you awake?
One thing Graves is great at is getting celebrities to promote Raising Cane's.
Man, I want to own some Cane's. I just want my own Cane's. I was like, well, that's a fun idea. I said, and come out and do it. So I went and watched the show, and then we met afterwards and enjoyed. Then we went back to his house and.
Stores target tight serve windows, but rush delays stack seconds into minutes. Each delay is another steam bath, and the failure rate climbs. You want crunch that lasts past the walk to your table. 2 easy tweaks get you there. Ask for extra crispy and vented packaging when they have it. Prioritize a fresh drop by ordering fries as a separate add-on, and ask them to salt at pickup, not on the line. Less surface brine means slower moisture draw. Now let's move on to the sweet side dish that quietly blunts your chicken's flavor and your appetite. What they don't tell you is the fresh crunch on the side is acting like dessert. Slaw is sweet enough to step on your chicken's flavor, and it does it fast. Here's the claim. Cane's coleslaw packs enough sugar to dull the spice notes you paid for in the chicken. It doesn't brighten the meal. It blunts it. You think slaw resets the palate between bites. But the sweetness flattens the marinade and makes the sauce carry the load. Your tongue adjusts to sweet first, so the next bite feels thin unless you drown it in dip.
But it's a little different when you're eating it across the table from the billionaire who created the brand.
How's the tenders?
They're as good here as anywhere.
Best form of marketing is solid operations, right? You can market something if you can't deliver on a great product or service, then you won't make it, right? But like with quick service food, they're massive fan base. They might already be a fan of Cane's and go to Cane's, but once total budget off sales is 3 to 4%. That's how much money we put into to marketing to keep our brands top of mind. I like to tie into celebrities who are caniacs, ones that love Cane's, and then we'll split the profits of the restaurant.
Walk the bite path. You hit slaw. Then chicken. Then sauce. The sweet hangs around and turns down the savory edges like lowering a radio knob. By the time you get to the second strip, the marinade reads mild and the salt tastes flat. Here's why. Sweet suppression is real. When you take in a high-sugar bite, your receptors shift. Salt, acid, and spice feel weaker on the next bites. That's palate fatigue. Your brain adapts and the food sounds quieter, even if the recipe didn't change. It's like brushing your teeth and then trying orange juice. The wrong residue trashes the next flavor. Slaw's sugar leaves a coat that doesn't play nice with fried chicken spice. And the numbers back the point. A serving of Cane's slaw clocks sugar on par with a common donut. That's why dessert disguised as a vegetable isn't a joke, it's a warning for taste.
They wanted to meet the Cane's guy. They love Cane's, they heard the story and wanted to meet, and the ones we make friends with and do it after that period.
There are a lot of celebrities that, pitch Raising Cane's. Your marketing budget has to be enormous.
Their person that they're a fan of is like totally into Cane's. It builds long-term loyalty. And then we started talking about doing something together. And, and it's like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, you design it exactly how you want it. And let's have fun with that.
There's a clean fix that lines up with how the brand's own playbook gets used. Trade the slaw for extra Texas toast. Keep your sauce in cups, not on the bun or the chicken. That lets the 24-hour marinade speak first, keeps the crust dry, and lets you set the bite rhythm. Chicken, a small dip, a crunch of toast, without the sugar drag. So what is the takeaway? Protect crunch, cut sugar, and use swaps that extend the life of flavor and texture. Texture dies fast and sugar steals flavor. Past minute 3, your order decides if the meal still hits or slips into limp and dull. The truth is, small choices change the whole tray.
How does that come about, and how much do you spend on that, and how do you see the role of marketing and promoting this whole thing?
Yeah, marketing is so important, right? How about we do some Post Malone restaurants where you want to put them? We became friends that way, and so it was several years that we had the friendship, ones that I have a relationship with, so it's that organic connection. And people can see whether it's a paid endorsement or it's somebody that really loves the brand. And I love to tie into their fans, right? And it's whether it's sports or entertainers, artists, people that love Cane's. And I don't like going around hitting up people to come endorse a product that they might not be crazy about. So
ask for extra crispy fries, vented lids, and salt at pickup. Swap the slaw for toast. Keep sauce in cups and control the dip. These tweaks work with your senses, not against them. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who orders Cane's on autopilot. Try the swaps on your next run, time your crunch, and tell us if your chicken tastes brighter without slaw.